different style, different size print. So you got 3 small print, and these are all big print. I don't know which one we put on here. Small print. So we'll put a big print on there, see if there's a difference. Who knows? I know I don't know. I'll take this one out. Take one of these rusty shims. Definitely does not go on that side. No rusty shim on that side. Try it on that side. That doesn't line up either. Helps the valve, hurts the push rod. Take the shim out. No extra shim. We're leaving the extra shim out. Same problem. Okay, this one has the other number on it, the small number. What do you want to call it? Washers. 2 washers. Cover. Nope, doesn't line up. Look the same, so they look like they're pretty well on center, so I'm not sure the difference. You put the 2 together, get about that much of a gap. About that much of a gap. I don't really see any difference in these things. They don't look any different to me. When you put them on the head, they fit the same, so same problem. So they're too close together. See, they're both too far in. See the gap on that side and none on that side. So the next thing is the push rod where it needs to be. Take our push rod we just happen to have laying around. Stick it inside the rocker arm. That fits right in there. Look at that, like it's made for it. It's definitely offset a little ways. Looks a little more centered. Yeah. See, my shovel lifter block definitely works pretty good in there. Look at that. Pushrod angle don't look too awful bad. Lines up pretty close. Fins are in the way, but we can get rid of fins. Yeah, lines up pretty good actually. Yeah, it's close, but you know, whatever. Nobody said the stuff was perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any kind of a parts book, so I don't know, but it does look like they fit pretty nicely though. Yeah. Have to bolt the cam there and see if it actually goes up and down. But I need a crank. I don't have a crank for this motor yet. That crank won't fit in there, and that's for a sport. This one's a Sportster crank, so it's no good. So I need a small diameter set of stroker flywheels, which I don't have here right now. So those all went to the mountains. They're up in storage. Now, I didn't think about it. I was up there to grab a set of small diameter stroker flywheels. And I could have put this motor together. But, oh well. Next time I'll do that. So anyway, it is what it is right there. So I'm not sure if these are correct or not, but anyway, they go on there. Continental cover goes in there. There's got to be some kind of a locking device or something on these. Not sure what it would be. Something, obviously. These lubricate through the push rods because you can see the oil hole right there. And I bet you the oil hole goes all the way through. You can see the hole right here where they drilled through, so I'm sure it goes through, I just can't see it. But just because I can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't go all the way through. There's a rubber tip back. There's a rubber tip air nozzle. Goes through. Probably not blowing my fingers off. There's no way I should be able to hold back 150 plus pounds of air. Not with my fingers. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Tip right there coming out there. Oh yeah. That's why I can't hold back the air pressure. There's no air pressure. Got a bleed off hole right there. Alright, so that's pretty good. So it pressurizes through the push rod, lubricates your fulcrum, and then comes out and squirts lube on top of your valve spring rocker to give it well lubricated. That's it, good design. See, airplanes know how to do stuff. So it works pretty good. So that's why I got an Evo pushrod that has a hole through it to lubricate. And it looks like the Evo pushrod matches the rocker just fine. The only problem is when you get really high lift. I don't think this has. Might have to do a little clearance in here for more serious application of valve lift. It's a little on the low side. That's just a matter of going and grinding it out a little bit, making room. Alright, yeah, those look pretty good, except for being slightly off center. Look pretty good. Good, so we're getting better. I just saved some money. I don't have to have any special rocker arms. And standard push rods will fit as long as they're long enough. So if I get some really, really long push rods, it would work. I might still have to get a custom push rod, I'm not sure, but at least Harley stuff will work. So we got Harley down here, Harley up here, and Harley in the middle is longer. So that's good. It looks like the shovel head, the S&S conversion shovel head rocker block looks like it might fit pretty good. And we had a shovel head cover right here. That's an Evo cover. I want something longer. There's a shovel head cover. Shovel head covers are longer. And that goes right like that. So I can't see exactly the angle, but obviously the angle's not quite right because it needs to be in like this. So we're still going to have to modify the block to make it work. At least it's pointing in the right direction. So this one's the same thing, it needs to be angled further in. But the angle going toward it looks good. So I just need more to lean in. So the rock arms here are shorter, so they're more on her. You assume the valves are on center, with shorter rock arms on a Harley, the push rod, you know, the pivot would be way out here. So we just have to lean these in further to make them work. It looks like this shovel head lifter block will do the job. And Andrew said they can make me the cam, anything I wanted. And it's only $1,500. Generous. So, I think we can make some stuff work. Next thing I got to figure out is piston height. Let's see what this is. Alright, so rock arms are sort of working. Like I don't know if there's a different one I don't have. Well, it can't be one I don't have because I got both our... You'd think this would be one of these two would work, but neither one of them worked. They're both off the same way, so... Next I can play with the shim a little bit to get a little closer. These do have a lot of in-play in them. So I can probably shim it one way or the other. It's going to be slightly off over here, but that's not going to be a deal ender there. Should be alright. So that will help. Except if I shove it this way over here, it makes a difference. Not a huge difference, but when you're off, anything you can help it with would be better. So, looks like we got plenty of room for valves there. Now if I put a longer valve in this motor, I can get more room for higher lift. The push rod will become a little shorter when you do that. So right now it looks like the rocker geometry is kind of goofy. Yeah, see it's almost straight right now with no lift in it. So to be correct, you need to either raise the rock arm up or you need to do something like this, longer valve. So I think we put another 100 thou longer valve in there, or 150 thou longer valve. We got more room for longer valve spring, which will help me on higher lift, because we're going to run 600 plus lift versus whatever an airplane run, which is probably not much. And that'll make all this work good. So now it's just a matter of how much clearance do we have on these. Not much. Damn, that thing is right on top of it. Look at that. Yeah, a 100,000 more hits up in here. So these will have to be dimpled higher for more clearance. You know, I have a way of doing that. And I don't know what kind of gasket to use, but obviously if you use a thick ass quart gasket, it'd be way up here. So, anyway, I can figure that out. That's not a major issue, but we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna need some longer valves. I want to go to smaller diameter valve anyway. These things are huge, 7/16. They don't need to be 7/16. But who knows? We'll see. For now, the way it is right now, we'll put a lash cap up in here and we'll gain 100 thou, which would be all I really need anyways. If I just put a lash cap up in here, we'll be fine. So, boom, go like that. 100 thou lash cap. And to make any valves. Saving money again. Get it running. These are the airplane spark plugs that are in here. That's what they look like. Twin plug. The wire itself goes in here, has the electrode in it. So, goofy ass wires over here. That's what they look like. They screw on with a nut. Weird. Here's the end of it, see. So I got me some plug wires. These aren't very good ones, but something just to play around with. Use a good old magneto, which I don't have, but obviously you can just cut the wire off, put a regular Harley in on that end, and you got some plug wires you can use right here, and you can use weird looking spark plug wires like this. You can use some of these expensive ass spark plugs, which have dual tips on them. Look like that. Different. So anyway, I can do that, or I can do put regular Harley plugs in it. But I can put Harley plugs in this motor because this takes short reach plugs. This motor over here takes a long reach plug, which is not offered for Harley. I don't know if anybody makes them, so might have to use airplane plugs anyway. One more thing that looks different. This here is going into the intake port, so I'm not sure what that's doing. You wouldn't think they'd have a pressure thing there for the intake manifold pressure, but I don't know. And I don't see any drain back, so I'm assuming that these things just fill up full of oil in here and drain down the pushrod covers. So I'm assuming the motor is a pancake motor. The valves are on the bottom of the motor, not the top. If it's on the top, this will be drowned in oil. If this is on the bottom, then the valves would not get covered. They wouldn't be in a pool of oil. Obviously, on my application, they're going to be in a pool of oil. So, but I have a good valve seal. Good valve seals. They make good valve seals, so we can do that. All right, so we're at on that one. Let's move the stuff around. I'll be back.